What's up, opportunity cost investors? As a reminder, 2x when you need to, timestamps down below. But for now, let's get into this video. With bank interest rates dropping precipitously, finding a high-yielding account's been on everybody's mind, and have us thinking things like, do I stick it out with my current bank because everything's changing so rapidly? And, oh look, that bank account gives me 0.01% better interest rate. I should change to them. Spoiler alert, don't do that last one. And what I've noticed is that there's a trend for some people to migrate into tiered accounts. And what tiered accounts are, for people who don't know, is they'll give you a high rate for the first X amount of dollars, and anything after that you'll get a paltry rate. For example, I know this one account that I personally use and recommend you definitely look into. It's called Digital Federal Credit Union, and they give you a 6% interest rate for the first $1,000. Anything after that is going to be 0.25%. So naturally, we want to maximize our exposure in that 6% interest rate category and minimize our exposure to that 0.25% interest rate category. Because even in the economic environment that we're in today, we can find much better rates than 0.25%. To do so, we're going to have to find the exact dollar amount to start with and the exact dollar amount to make for automatic withdrawals so we can maximize the most amount of money and save the most amount of time. Time which we can use to invest in ourselves and, you guessed it, smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Now, to begin this off, I'm going to start with DCU because it's a single tiered account. There's many different types of tiered accounts. Multi-tier and conversion tier are just two. And I'm going to keep things real simple and start with the single tier. As we dive into Excel, I'll show you DCU. Okay, so here's my handy dandy Excel sheet. It's actually a budget template which can be found on my website, linked in the description below. As you can see, there's balances, income, reoccurring expenses, and tons of tools for you to use if you have a budget or if you're looking for one. But for now, we're going to focus on this tool that I have for automating single-tiered account withdrawals. Notice that I put in Digital Federal Credit Union's interest rate for the first 1,000% and the interest rate for anything above that. To calculate the daily effective rate, you're going to divide that by 365 and 366. Because that's the basis they do according to the disclosures. Now, the equations are going to get kind of complicated, so I hope you download the template just to follow along. If not, I'm going to have everything here for you, so you don't need it, but it would be nice to have. So again, the 6% interest rate is up to the first $1,000, and the opportunity gain that we can make somewhere else is 1%. I did 1% because it's very common right now, and it's between 0.25% and 6%. Naturally, if we couldn't find anything above 0.25%, we wouldn't be dealing with automating the accounts at all. But because we want to take all that money that comes from a 6% and move it into something that's better than 0.25%, we got to have the opportunity gain. And just for your information, this is an interest rate that goes on a 365 or 366 day basis. And that'll be used in some of the formulas down below. Down below that, I have automated withdrawals at $0. We're going to figure out the number by changing this, but for now, I'm just going to keep it at 0. These three cells right here, baseline, automated, and difference, we'll dive into right now, starting with baseline. So in a perfect world, when you are making interest and you make that 6% interest on $1,000, it would automatically be transferred to the 1% opportunity gain you have. However, that's not exactly how real life works. The closest we can get to that is on the first business day, we would manually withdraw the exact amount into the higher opportunity gain. So that's what I did here. What would you do if it was manual and you could do it on the first day? So I have $1,000 all the way through, and then the amount of interest you made. To calculate this is a simple formula. You take your beginning balance times 1 plus the rate. And because we're in a leap year, I'm going to use this one. And then multiply it by how many days there were in a month. Well, this is the end of October, and October has 31 days. So I'm going to do times 31. Push enter, and you should get $1,500.08. Subtract that from our original $1,000, and you get $5.08. And that's how you arrive at that. And that's how you can calculate how much interest you're going to make in a month. So what I say in this is you had $1,000, and at the end of October, and really the 1st of November, you made $5.08. You put it into an external account, and on the next month, you made $4.92. You withdrew that amount exactly. You're left with $1,000, and in that external account, $5.08 compounded, and then you add 492 and you get $10. Your net worth is down below. And after 81 years, which is just some random number I came up with, the ending net worth is going to be $8,471.62. So now, how do we make that more realistic? And how do we make it so it's automated? Because we don't want to manually do that every single month for 81 years or however long we suspect we'll do this for. So automating the scenario is just a little bit different, but more or less the same. You start with $1,000. You compound into $1,005.08. The interest you made was $508, and the low interest is 0 because we didn't go over that in that period. However, we did in this period. And it looks like 0 just because the interest rates are so small, but you'll notice later on that you actually are making an amount of money there. And then you continue and continue. And the reason why it's not changing like the baseline is because we have 0 withdrawals right now. So if I change that to, we'll say $1, you can see how the difference is made. Okay, so now instead of $1,005.08, we're left with $1,004.08. So the total interest is $5.08. We took out $1, which is now in an external account, which will be continued to add $1 to, and accrue interest, which is why we see 401, 501, 601, and so forth. So how do we figure out what's the best number for this automated withdrawal? Well, we could keep guessing and checking and keep going $1, $2, $3 until we find the difference between the baseline and the automated. That's the absolute smallest, ideally as close to 0 as possible. However, I can shortcut that so we don't have to guess check so much. I'm going to do equals the average of all the interest we'll make in 81 years, excuse me. Obviously, the further out you go, the more accurate it'll be. And notice that it's $5. This will be a good place to start. So in the automated withdrawals, I'm going to change that to $5. And notice that the difference is now $5.80. So what that is saying is you could manually withdraw the money on the first available day of the month into your high yielding account, or you can automate it at $5 withdrawing a month, and the difference would only be $5.80. Is $5.80 worth your time for that manual to be converted to automatic? Absolutely, right? And notice how there was such a huge difference between making withdrawals or not. I mean, if you didn't make any withdrawals, you're looking at a $2,000, almost $100 difference. Whereas if you're doing $5, then you're looking at $5.80. Now, I told you that $5 is a good place to start because that was the average. However, it's not always going to be the best answer. So what you want to do is now kind of go up a little and down a little and figure out where is the best result. So I'm going to start going up. $5.01 yields me a difference of $241. So we don't want to go up. We want to go down. So that will go down to $4.99. And notice that it's even lower, $4.04, which is less than the 5-some dollars that we had before. So now I'm going to keep going down until I get to a point where it converts to a higher number. So I did $4.98 and the difference is now $8, which means the best possible scenario for us to automate is $4.99. And that'll give us a difference of $4.04. Now keep in mind, this is only an estimate, because if we wanted to make this hyper realistic, we'd have a calendar with the weekends and the holidays and the exact days we would withdraw from. But that kind of hyper realistic analysis isn't necessarily needed. No way. That's not going to be worth your time, especially with the small amount of dollars that we're dealing with, that these are usually capped at. So instead, I would encourage you just to look at it on a very basic principle here, and maybe add a margin of safety to your analysis. So maybe you said $4.99, because of the variables that I talked about, maybe you want to do $4.98. And an $8 difference doesn't mean, a $4 difference from the best case scenario doesn't necessarily merit you away from your margin of safety. So that's up to your interpretation, but for now, this analysis actually works perfectly for what you need to do. So there you have it, everyone. This is how you make the maximum benefit out of single tiered accounts. Now again, there's different types of tiered accounts, which I'll go over into more detail in future videos, which I'm super excited for. However, there's a few caveats I want to mention about this tiered account hacking. First of all, it's not scalable. There's only so many types of tiered accounts and so many that are good enough for us to want to take advantage of. So to do so on a large scale would actually be impossible. Additionally, this effort takes a lot of time and commitment. So you really only want to limit yourself to 2 or 3, if that, because rates are changing so fast and so variable, even not in this economic environment, but even before. It's hard to keep up with. So you really want to limit it down to just the bare necessities and the ones that really provide you, which is why I like DCU. For a long time, they've had the 6% interest rate. Now, I have other things I want to say about DCU, but that will be for another future video. So as you guys know, I have a lot planned for you guys I'm super excited for. But for now, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you consider liking, subscribing, and ringing that notification bell so hard it makes the Liberty Bell jealous. And I want to shout out a special thank you to everyone who's subscribed so far. We just hit 100 subscribers, and I'm super excited because it's only been a month. And I'm going to do another video on how I did my journey up to 100 subscribers and what I think would really help other people become successful. But until next time, everyone, thanks for watching.